welcome to Living My Fest Life, a podcast about festivals, fairs, events, and experiences, everything from the nationally known to the local and obscure. I am your host, Kelly Collette, and with me today is my friend and comedian John Hayes. He is also the lead singer of Flesh Mother, an awesome band, and he's going to talk to me about the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff. John, welcome to the podcast.
I'm living my best life.
Hello, Kelly Collette.
Oh, so formal all of a sudden. Okay, so I asked you what festival we could talk about, and immediately you went to West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff. I mean, what stood out to you about this event?
That just seems like the most insane of all of them. Like every other, all the other events you look at, they have these like hilarious kind of like quirky things about them, but this one just seems totally insane.
They seem very into it and intense, and actually it seems like such a tradition and actually like a blue ribbon badge if they are the winner of this cook-off. I mean, it is something they can brag about for a while. Like
hand-me-down recipes from their grandparents on how to cook a squirrel.
I mean, it seems like it. So it started off as part of the Pocahontas County's annual Autumn Harvest Festival, and they just kind of...
Did you say Pocahontas?
Yeah, County? Pocahontas County.
Awesome.
I mean, that was a word jumble right there. But, yeah, so in West Virginia, it's in Marlinton, West Virginia? Marlinton, West Virginia. Pocahontas County Annual Autumn Harvest Festival, and part of that is...
I would actually love to hear someone from Marlintown tell us how they say it.
Yeah.
Because I bet it's not.
I bet it's not that. They're like, actually, the R is silent. Marlinton. Okay. So every year they do a roadkill cook-off. And we were looking at some of the rules. What rules did you think that...
Well, the one that weirded me out was that it doesn't have... Well, I guess that weirded me out, but immediately turned me off of the fest, though, a little bit, was that it wasn't actual roadkill.
Okay.
It's just non-traditional animals.
Okay. So what turns you off about that?
Well, I don't eat meat. I'm vegetarian.
Yeah, so it was weird that you wanted to pick this one to talk about.
What seemed appealing was the salvage of like road meat, I guess. But now that I know they're just actually killing just regular-ass animals that they don't typically get killed by humans, that seems weird to me.
I mean, some of them could be... I mean, okay, so if
But there's a good balance, I guess.
See, if you're making the squirrel biscuits and gravy... I doubt you're just randomly killing squirrels. I bet that there are a lot of squirrels that you're going to be picking up. Well, I mean, they say, like, people prep for this a whole year in advance because they have to feed so many people that they're just probably picking up a lot.
They're prepping it. I didn't know they were prepping a year in advance.
I mean, they say, like, to get their recipes together and to have enough. I mean, I'm looking at some of these things that, okay, fried venison wontons.
What's venison?
It's deer.
Oh. What's a wonton?
That I can't answer. I'm still mystified by the wonton. Snapping turtle stew.
That seems kind of fair because the turtles don't get killed that often, I feel like, as much as like cows.
Well, I feel like the turtles also are more roadkill worthy because they're so slow to cross the road. I've saved like 10 turtles crossing the road. I will see them and I'll pick them up and I'll help them along, and I'll usually
Well, they're pretty easy to dodge too because they're a big lump in the road.
But I just feel like someone's not going to dodge it. Someone's going to do the swerve and kill on purpose. So I feel like I should stop my car and traffic and help out.
I don't know. I usually just kind of go on about my day, but I feel like it's a balance to kill a turtle here and there. Like, that's not the worst.
Not the worst?
No, they got shells.
I like turtles. They do stuff. They probably help the soil. I don't know what purpose they serve.
I don't know what they're cool. They don't harm. They
hang out.
I like all animals.
You like all animals, which is, you're like, let's talk about this one.
Yeah.
This one made me sad. Teriyaki marinated bear.
Why did that make you sad? Out of all the other ones,
I feel like bears can be. I know, but I feel like they're more likely to be endangered. I don't know.
Well, what kind of bear?
I don't know. They just say bear.
I think grizzly bears are endangered, but not like a regular.
Not like a
bear.
Brown bear or black bear.
I mean,
too many bear types.
I think that one's okay too.
Okay.
Well, a roadkill is a bear. You hit a bear.
I don't know.
That can't happen.
Apparently, we're picking moral grounds. They have iguana, snake, pheasant, the squirrel biscuits and gravy, Sounds good.
I hit a squirrel the other day. I wish I had known. I would scoop them up and
handed them to your local chef and said,
and been like, "Yo, smother this in some gravy."
But you don't. You said So you said you don't eat meat, but you would consider it for this. Okay.
I would consider it for this because it's not. It's saving something that's already like if you hit it with your car, you already fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can make it
abstain.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what's cool about this is eating these. I don't know if they would call them untraditional, not farm to table animals, but like untraditional meats is kind of a way of life in West Virginia in some areas. And it kind of celebrates that stereotype. They even say that they name they poke fun of the stereotype by naming the dishes like funny things like hillbilly, or Appalachian things like drunken deer in the headlights, and like they probably beer battered deer or something like that.
I have a lot of family in West Virginia, and they all have that sense of humor, that like almost self-deprecating.
Exactly.
Because they know what they are.
They know what the other states are saying about them.
And I mean, they are it's a little. The Appalachian region's a little different. It's like one of the poorest regions in America. And
I think that's what's kind of unique about this.
It's cool that they embrace that.
They do. And
we're having a roadkill fest.
Exactly. And, they say like a lot of, in this area, there's a lot of people out of work. And it is kind of something to be celebrated when they can. It's
not talked about a lot, but the Appalachia region, like down into Kentucky and Tennessee, is like one of the poorest regions in America. Mm-hmm. And it's not inner city or anything. It kind of gets overlooked a little bit because it's always been that way. But that's why the people that live in those areas they're wild, man.
They're wild. and like with education being so expensive and them living in these regions that they don't have access to a lot of schools because just the way the land is dissipated and things like that. So not a lot of job markets. I mean, coal industries and everything. So it's actually kind of a feather in their cap that they can make it work. And
it's really cool. I've gone on tours and played some shows in these like regions, like these weird small towns, and they have such a cool like they embrace that so hard, and they're so proud of like Appalachia.
Well, have you seen Wild and Wonderful Whites?
In West Virginia. I've met some of those people. Not off that movie, but like people like that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it's awesome because they do have such a cool like. They just run with it. Like, yeah, you think we're nuts, whatever, that's fine.
There are so many different personalities in the United States. Like, if we're going to celebrate Jersey Shore, we're going to celebrate the Hollers, too. Like, it's just who you are. And, be proud of it.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Let's see. Have you ever had an exotic meat like this, though? You said
I used to eat meat.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, one time I was in Japan, I ate a bird off the street.
Wait, what? Wait, like a street vendor, not like you saw a bird and just put it in your mouth.
You didn't like. It was dead and cooked, and some guy was making them.
You didn't Ozzy Osbourne.
No.
Bird's head.
There was a guy, but it was gross because the guy was. He said he was cut. He had these little birds. They were like a complete bird that was like cooked, and then I asked him. I was like, "You don't eat the head, do you?"
The beak.
Like the entire head was there. And I was like, "You don't eat the head?" He's like, No, you don't eat the head. I was like, then he cut the head off when I ordered it, and then he started chopping up the whole body, and you could hear there was bones in it, and it was so fucking disgusting. And I ate a little bit of it just because I felt obligated because he was watching me.
Yeah.
But
to be kind.
Yeah, well, when I ordered it, I wanted to have a try of it, but it was so.
Yeah, like,
I don't know how people eat that.
You're like, can you stop staring at me so I can put some in my napkin?
I felt like I must have done something wrong because there's no way I could figure out a way to eat that comfortably.
No.
Like something I had to.
Just the bones. We're not used to eating around the bones at all. Yeah.
Who is?
I don't know. A lot of people apparently. Yeah, some people. But I had some bugs when I was in Thailand, but that was just
like big bugs,
like
or just
grasshoppers.
Skewered. They're not like.
You just pop them in your mouth. Protein.
I feel like. Ooh. Wait. Are they big?
No. Small. There's you get like a skewer of them. They serve them on the street.
Are they seasoned? Are they cooked?
I kind of just ate it really fast and said, "Okay, I can say I did that now."
You didn't try to ask them about cooking it and the recipe.
I didn't speak the language, so I tried the best I could, but I wasn't be like, Sorry. How do you season your grasshoppers? Are there any gluten in this? I wasn't bougie about it.
Have a look at it.
I did try rattlesnake sausage when I was in Los Angeles because
Good?
there's this like random place that was like, we make sausages and we use exotic meat sometimes. Josh Cox was with me. I don't remember if it was good or not. I thought it tasted like chicken.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like for some reason I imagine rattlesnake is good because every badass of all time goes by like the rattlesnake.
Right, yeah.
So I would imagine I would probably try that.
I'd like to think that it was shot by like a long shotgun with a guy wearing a 10-gallon hat.
I would imagine the guy in a trench coat caught it by hand, delivered it living, and then they cooked it up.
I feel like he just wrang its neck,
yeah,
and
like,
that's how he killed it.
Like won it, and it was just still alive, and they knew that if they said no, he was going to turn it loose on them because that's what bad boys do. And then he put it out. I
have one on each steak of my pitchfork. Which one did you want to purchase from me and put in your homemade sausage grinder? So it's not unusual for like parts of the world, even the United States, to eat unusual meats. I've never seen the bear. I didn't know we could eat bear. I thought that was illegal.
I didn't know you could accidentally hit him with your car.
Oh,
that's the part that's
yeah, I don't see them on the side of the road very often.
No,
yeah, okay. But
maybe in like Montana.
It turns out that like only 25% of the meat in the cook-off contest has to be wild. So I don't know how they judge that or they make sure, but they say that everything must be pre-cleaned and they must pre-skin everything.
You know that there's like for sure somebody that's like doesn't get the blue ribbons, like
they cheated.
That wasn't wild.
Yeah,
that's a farm raised bear if I've ever seen one.
Exactly.
It was definitely.
I would have
if I lost the contest, I would accuse others of cheating.
I would be pissed. Yeah. I mean, you put all that time into finding the perfect recipe and coming up with the freaking clever name that's a pun. And then you just lose. But the first prize is $1,200.
That's not very much.
Oh, really? I was going to say that's a big chunk of change for...
How much is it? How much did you look at how much it cost to go?
I did not know. Hold on this. I think it's a $5 entry to go in and...
Just to eat?
Just to go in and eat. It's like, I think they're going to have to pay for the dishes. You go in and eat.
Well, after you sell all your meats and stuff, I guess $1,200 is pretty good if you've already sold your stuff.
I wonder if, like, Food Network guys, like, want to come... You know, there's that guy who, like, came in, he's like, I'm going to challenge the best cheesesteak maker to a cheesesteak cook-off. There's
I never watched Food Network.
There was some like Food Network show where this guy
with the blonde hair.
I don't know. It was just some asshole. It's like, hey, you think you're the best at this? I'm gonna try and be better. And like that's the whole concept of the show.
That's such a cool idea for a show. I think.
I don't know. I just felt like and he's like, who was the judge? You know.
Well, he just like made himself the bad guy forever. That's amazing.
Okay, West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff. Looks like it's going to be Friday, September 27th, and Saturday, September 28th. Internal.
You gotta get your tickets early for the.
And that's just a calendar. It looks like they might not even have a website.
Maybe it's free.
Oh, in years past, the Food Network, Travel Channel, and Discovery Channel has covered this. So it's probably a very well-attended event. Let me try and look up more while I'm... But tell me more about...
Well, also West Virginia is like, the location of that state is kind of like up in the northeast almost. So it's not insane that people from New York or whatever could travel down to there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Pennsylvania's right there. The BBC News covered it?
Oh, look at these they have these pictures of people eating it that just look awful.
This looks like... She looks like she's gagging while she's eating it.
Yeah, why would they... I guess that's the point.
Okay, so locals are proud of their rugged culture, but also stereotyped for it. I'm a little scared, said Sierra Boggs before eating a mouthful of snapping turtle boiled in a stew of tomato and onions. She later said it tasted quite good.
That sounds kind of good.
What do you think this picture smells like right here? What do you think this is?
That food that your little dog was eating earlier.
Oh my gosh, the food that my dog with no teeth was eating? Oh my god, how disgusting. Okay, so it looks like it takes place in a field.
It looks packed. Look at these pictures. There are tons of people.
Wristbands are $5, which gives them access to tasting stalls. So they can get the iguana tacos, they can get the quail meatballs. Look at this line. I mean,
for $5, that's pretty cool.
I know, and you know what? I think they have music. Yeah, they have music, dancing, and guess what else they have? The Miss Roadkill beauty pageant.
Yes.
Hot dog, guys.
Yes.
I want to see what the contestants wear to that.
I wonder what the conditions are to be in that.
I don't know. I hope there's a talent competition.
Well,
No question and answer.
I hope they have to infuse a roadkill theme into their outfit.
I hope so too.
Like some tire marks on them or something, some clowny shit. That would be amazing.
Okay, 12,000 people come to this. This is insane.
12,000 people,
Yeah.
$5 a head.
That's a lot of money.
No wonder they
They should give them more than $1,200.
$1,200 seems cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Look at this guy. He's feeding a chicken there.
And he's gonna hit it with his car later and cook him up.
I like this. The whole thing is tongue-in-cheek. It's a stab at what other Americans think of us West Virginians. They call us rednecks, but that can be a compliment down here. It's all about having fun. I love that,
That's
though.
amazing.
Yeah. Because they, like we said, they know what the stereotype is, but they embrace it and they're having fun with it.
I wish that part of that, I kind of wish that part of the way they did this was that all the animals had to be roadkill, and in preparation for it, they would they would put all the chickens in like a little thing and just run them over with their cars.
Like the annual slaughtering of the chicken.
Like that was like the pre-event.
That's so sad.
Like early
it's like
in the
start your
like the week ahead of time before the
Says the guy who doesn't want to eat dead animals.
they all get in cars and just run out in the field and just see what they hit.
I would like it if they didn't tell you whether so I would like it if they serve the food and they're like, you don't know if it's roadkill or not. So, like, you could be eating, like, a nice quality piece of meat, or it could be roadkill. So you don't stereotype it before you try it. I don't know. That's how I would put a spin on it.
They don't get the recipe. They don't know what animal they're eating.
Yeah, that could be cool, too. Yeah. Although, I think that people know, like, venison's kind of gamey. They say, oh, wait. What?
What is she
That's
holding?
a dog. No. I think that's just someone.
I thought that was a dead thing.
You thought it was a dead thing? I went to bed at 1 a.m. and I was up at 5, says Janet, who cooked venison and boar for the festival. To spice things up, she fried the venison to crispy wontons, which you don't know what they are.
No.
And brought along her stuffed coyote.
That is a dead stuffed animal.
I thought it just looked confused.
You thought it was just an odd dog.
I was like, no. He's just looking at stuff. He's fine.
Look at his mouth. That's not that's not a regular mouth.
It's a coyote. He's the one who caught all the food before and brought it to her, and then she stuffed him.
Of course, there's a Trump t-shirt.
Yeah. But they know who they are. Creativity is valued in preparation. Not all chefs are local. Some travel as far from California and New Mexico to come showcase their cooking skills. Ooh, look at this elk grits. Do you like grits?
Do you think that they bring, like, the guys from New Mexico have to have, like, the regional stuff? Like, they bring out, like, the roadrunners and coyotes and things like that?
Oh, that would be nice.
Like, they can't
They'd be like, this is from other parts of the country, but it's also roadkill.
Like, here comes that North Dakota guy with a bear and something.
I like the roadrunner aspect.
Aren't those are real, right?
Meatballs. I don't know. They are real.
I wish you could just turn this recording.
This guy has a gun. This guy just is holding a gun. Let's see what part of the festival this is.
The Communist News Network.
Okay. CNN is known as the Communist News Network in these parts. So, this guy just walks around with a gun.
Of course.
Firearms are one of the few things that counties do well as a business. Local stores sell ammunition, arms, and cleaning equipment. Okay, so this is the woman I think who won last year. She calls herself Miss Grandma Roadkill 2016. And she said
amazing.
It was strange to eat iguana because my granddaughter has a pet iguana. Okay.
And after I got home, I just couldn't stop thinking about running him over.
Yep. Oh, she might have been the winner. Oh, you know what? She was the winner of the pageant, I think. Maybe. She's got a crown on. I don't know if she won the cook-off or if she won the pageant.
Oh, she got a sash and a crown. She's got to be the winner of the pageant.
Let me Google Miss Roadkill pageant. And let's see if we can learn a little bit more about the pageant, because I'm all for... Oh, West Virginia Miss Roadkill pageant. Don't make me log on. Oh, they got a whole little history. They have pageant preparation workshops.
Life skills workshops.
Yeah, this seems like...
Oh, look at them.
The camo dress. Oh, no, it's not camo. Sorry. That was me projecting onto you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, here it is. West Virginia Roadkill pageant. I'm going to have to like the page. Everybody go to West Virginia Roadkill Pageant and like that page, as well as the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff.
Are you recording now?
I am.
Oh.
I'm trying to find more information about, like, how to enter.
You gonna do it?
Oh, I should do it. Shouldn't I?
I mean, that would be...
They would run me out of town, though.
When
They'd
they
be
bring
like...
you up for comedy shows and you make them announce you as the Roadkill contest.
That's my one credit, you guys.
The Roadkill champion.
Oh, they already named the 2019 West Virginia Roadkill Queens. Okay. So the pageant might have already happened. They announced this on Monday who the winners were. So maybe at the pageant they'll be walking around. Look how cute their crowns are. This girl, I mean, they were really cute.
Well, I just wonder what they're judged on.
I don't know. Probably just a regular pageant, and then the festival is what they represent, and they can go to Miss West Virginia on it.
I bet you can camp out there, too. Because there's no way that town has enough, like, living quarters. So you just
the hotels and stuff?
Yeah, you can just, camp out for a couple of days, eat some weird food.
That'd be cool. Let's see if I can get anything else on the page.
Could bring your insane dog, and people would think that you, like, rescued it from a roadkill.
I would make sure I had, like... something to stand out, so everybody's like, that's the girl on the scooter with the dog on it, or something. You know, I want to know. I want them to know who I am. I want to roll in there. Roadkill Festival. Okay. West Virginia roll up. I can't even say it. Why is it so hard for me to say? Okay, so they call for vendors right now.
I mean, that's just to be in it, just to have.
Yeah. Today's varmint Vittles specials.
Man, I would assume they have to have, too, like, other tables with just, like, cool T-shirts and...
It's got to be a whole experience to be there. It kind of reminds me of, like, a music festival or something. You're just so immersed in the community that you probably leave with...
Yeah, I mean...
with merch, and it's something to say that you went to and you were a part of.
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be... Like, that's what I mean. I feel like this fest would be so fun to go to because it's not... Like, it's become... I think it's become probably more like this big, like, actual festival covered by the news, but it probably has a tradition that was just amazing.
Looks like last year they had bands, arts and craft. Looks like they had a bake-off. Ooh.
And the crafts have got to be amazing.
Black Mountain Bluegrass Boys playing. Mudhole Control. I don't know if that's a band
Control?
I don't know if that's a band or an activity.
That's amazing.
Bands. Mudhole Control and the Bing Brothers.
I hope that's one band.
I hope so too.
I hope there's like a guy called the Mudhole Control and his Bing Brothers.
They have a possum trot on September 29th. I guess that was like a 5K. So they have events that coincide.
Yeah, it sounds like a whole...
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Baked possum. Ooh. Okay, hold on.
Wait, was that good?
All right, here's an article. I came to West Virginia to attend the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff. Population 1,500. So, 12 times their population come rolling into this town.
That's what I mean. There's got to be like campgrounds and things like that. Well, I guess you just drive 20 minutes to another town. Their town can't be big.
Signs of civilization and self-service are bad. And driving on the way...
Is this a review, right?
Yeah, my roadkill sightings included 2 fawn, 2 groundhogs, 2 squirrels, 1 possum, and 1 raccoon. So maybe the area just over there...
They just run over everything
because they just come out in the middle of the road. And it's like, well, you know what we should do? We should just bring them all into town one day.
Like the festival came out of necessity?
Yeah. So there's one rule for the festival is no gutting on site. Like I said, pre-skinned, that they have to do all that stuff. Because I don't think they want people to see how everything... You know, you don't want to see how your foods are made like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they don't have... I mean, I've never been to a food... Like, they don't have the taste of Cincinnati in their gut city.
They should. They should be like, you should know what's in your Skyline chili for sure.
Yeah.
Here's your Montgomery ribs barbecue sauce. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything about camping on site, but that would be really cool. So what's something that you think you wouldn't eat?
Like out of the festival?
Just any, yeah.
Like just like out of disgusting. It sounds nasty. Even though I said I would eat rattlesnake earlier, I think snake would be weird.
Why?
Because their whole body seems like a muscle. The way they move.
It's probably chewy,
I'm not 100% sure how a snake actually moves. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. Like,
it's got,
They just kind of like wiggle and it somehow goes in directions. I don't really get it. So I feel like I feel like they would make, in my brain, their meat would just taste like a muscle.
It makes me sad that, like, if you put your thumb on their neck, like, they're just like, oh, shit, I can't do anything now. Like, they're just like, I can wiggle it, but I got...
kind of like a giant tongue to me.
Giant tongue.
That's what they remind me of.
They look like a giant big toe for a face. And just one long muscle.
Yeah, dude, and they don't have arms or they have nothing. This is weird thing.
I feel like turkey's
not good?
I feel like turkey is just too normal to be one of the things that it's going to win a prize.
Kelly, I got to tell you something. The other day, I live in Pioneer, Kentucky. This is unrelated to the roadkill thing, but I was walking. A turkey jumped out of a tree above my head. It scared me so bad. It sounded like it was like if a little man jumped out of that tree.
Turkeys are the funniest
They're huge.
they're huge. My aunt lives out in Adams County, Ohio, which is like out there. Yeah, and she has a cabin with no electricity, and I went there to stay one night. Best sleep I ever got, by the way. It was like this pitch dark.
Well, probably you have to go to bed at like 7:30.
Everything was there was nothing to do either, and there was like no lamp I could turn on to like read at night.
Yeah,
it was like,
once the sun sets, you have to get.
It's like, okay, get in there, get in your wooden bed, get in your coffin. So I woke up that morning and I could see there was deer in the distance, and outside the cabin were 3 turkeys, and they saw me and they went. And they their heads went back like geese, and they ran like little like they just were the funniest animals ever.
Like little strange men.
And we live near, you live in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I drive through Kentucky. There's wild turkeys all over there.
This one jumped out of a tree the other night, and it scared me. I feel like it knocked out branches in my memory.
I don't know why it was in a tree, though. I don't think they go up there because they can't fly, can they?
Then something else was in this tree that I thought was a turkey. Maybe it was a weird guy. It was
the night man cometh. It seems like they already have, on Facebook, they have 769 people interested already. But I bet, people come through all over to get here.
Was just like tons of news going, probably.
Yeah, and it's not till September, so they have plenty of time. They're like, we'll update it when we frickin' get to it. It's not for a while.
The person that runs the website also works at like the mill.
Yeah, I think that they probably have...
Are these pictures?
Fireworks. These are like pictures in the Facebook group, so it looks like maybe a troop.
Those like selfies.
Marshmallows. Yeah, I don't know. The guy with the gun, that kind of.
It was a dog.
Turned me off a little bit. Just if he's just walking around carrying that. Welcome to the you hit it, we spit it, Roadkill Grill. That's hilarious. Everything is such a fun. Out of luck duck. Oh, ducky.
Centerline bovine sounds amazing.
Chunk of skunk. I don't think I would eat skunk.
I would eat a skunk.
I don't think I would.
I've seen skunks in the wild, and they're actually super cool. Like, you have to be a total idiot to get sprayed by a skunk.
Oh, there was a raccoon that lived in my garbage can that I
wouldn't eat a raccoon.
I wouldn't eat that either. I think it's something about animals, the cuteness factor. And me eating them. I think that sounds horrible.
Well, it also weird me out because they have hands.
Oh, yeah, and they can grab things. And they can be pets. People have raccoon as pets. My dad has a raccoon as a pet when he was a kid, and he said that they would give him... Because they would wash their food, with their little hands. And so they would give... Yeah, the raccoons, they wash everything before they eat it. So he would give them a cookie, and the raccoon would take it to the water bowl and just wash it, and all of a sudden the cookie would just disappear into the water.
Aww.
Just washed away. So sad, yeah.
I used to, when I lived in... a bad neighborhood, we had these raccoons who always digging our trash. We called them our pets.
Trash pandas?
Yeah, they would just kind of hang out and get in the trash.
They're
scary if you threw something away and didn't know they were over there.
Have you tried being vegan, or are you just vegetarian usually?
No, I have a really hard time because you have to read a lot of directions and you have to cut out things like butter.
Yeah, you have to eat like ghee and stuff like that.
I just don't know.
I tried it for a while. I was reading a book about it.
So you read the book, got motivated?
I really did. It was called The Kind Diet. It was by Alicia Silverstone. From Clueless fame.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she also was like, okay, there's certain vegetables that you shouldn't eat certain times of the year, like nightshades, and she goes, you should probably just keep eating like local fruits instead of like international fruits that aren't from your region. And so it all makes sense, and she talked about the science behind it, but then I'm like, I love pineapple. I want to eat a pineapple. And slowly... you make exceptions in your mind, and then you give up, and then you feel really bad.
Well, it's also, once you quit a little, you might as well quit. Like, it's like, that's like, I think a lot of people, they stop eating meat, and they go 100%, like, super hard on it, and then they make an error, and they have, like, a burger. And then they just give up entirely.
They go, you know what? It's already I ruined it.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. I got like the vegan chicken nuggets and stuff like that, and I stocked my freezer
really
for
easy.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to. Vegan's a little harder, but like to not eat meat is so simple.
Yeah,
like,
you can get substitutes on everything, and like when I would not do it.
Tons of options.
Yeah, I would just get side dishes sometimes too.
You just can't eat like a hot dog. Like that's fine. Like,
yeah, I don't think I want to eat a hot dog anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you actually know what's in your food.
That sounds scarier than roadkill.
I actually, roadkill is probably organic. I mean, they don't have like the hormones that we're feeding factory farm animals.
It's got to be. I bet the Roadkill Fest should be state. They should have state by state.
I think so too. I'm actually kind of being swayed by this right now because they're not going to have all the grossness that comes with the farming industry.
Well, those animals are all super unhealthy, super mistreated. They're miserable. Those animals do, and I mean, not to be too hippie, but I think that goes through their system.
They say like when the animal goes through the killing process, it gets like the stress can get transferred into your body through the meat. I don't know. We're doing
We've detoured a little right now.
Vegan to propaganda.
But I believe everything. Like when you encounter like a bad sour person, they don't have to say anything, and you just get that vibe.
They're like, you eat a lot of stressful meats.
I think bad vibes permeate everything.
This is kind of weird though, because if you think about the Appalachian way of life, it's probably more red state, right? But you think about...
Was red Republican?
Red was Republican,
okay.
yeah. So you're thinking like, their views might align with that. But if you think about, eating the roadkill and the hippiness behind it and not...
Well, sometimes
not stress, it's kind of blue, yeah.
Well, those people are... I think most Republicans are just confused.
Oh, now we're getting political in it,
Not to get too political either. I think those are just... Whenever I see some of them, I'm like, I don't ever think someone's dumb. I just think they're confused.
Yeah, well,
I don't think people are bad. They just don't understand what's actually going on.
I feel like, if we're going to get political, I will just say, like, there's just a lot of misinformation about a lot of things, too. I feel like people get presented with one thing, and then even I on Facebook, like, I think I reshared something, and someone was like, that article was from 4 years ago, and I felt so stupid, because I was like, oh my god, I'm so pissed off about this, and I'm like, okay, why are we...
I'm not sure West Virginia is a Republican state.
They said that Elizabeth Warren went through there and changed. She had like a meeting there in a county where people voted mostly Trump, and she said that at the end, like everybody was taking selfies with her and stuff. Because I think people just want to be heard, and I think when you're from an Appalachian state, you've been kind of pushed aside. You're not from these big states, and a lot of the jobs have gone away, and they just want to feel like they're heard.
What's what they talk about even on the festival? He said we know how other states look at us.
Yeah,
like that's a people that same as like that whole Appalachia area. They know that the rest of the world looks at them as like dumb and idiots, and that's why there's like things like this festival and like a lot of the more like recent politicians that have come out of that area and are going to that area is realizing these people like they absolutely are not. They're not worthless. They're like and I think that's such a cool mindset they have.
Right. And they're proud of where they're from.
I'm about to move to West Virginia.
They're strong people. They overcome shit. I mean, they're hard workers.
I mean, look at the strikes and the coal mining wars they had down in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You can go down to like Harlan, Kentucky, and they have these amazing history down there of just people that like fought for all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I say that's not feel so stupid. It's not like they fought for stuff. They did
the people that did the stuff
down in Kentucky, but it was like a violent, almost war,
right,
between big business and the workers. Yeah, it's amazing. That doesn't happen. It's not. It's not common.
I just feel like their values are in family and are in community, which I think is respectable too. And I just feel like. I know I just said this like a million times, but they just want to be heard. They want to know that they're represented and that, the rest of the country isn't looking at them like they're not important, but they are.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth checking out. I mean, it's so good to experience a different way of life. And not that this is too different from Ohio and Kentucky. I mean, I feel like these are our people. Right. I'm not trying to say like, oh my God, go check them out because, what you might see. It's like, no, I'm going to see a bunch of my aunt walking around. Like, so.
Go look at these things.
Go check it out. Yeah.
Go look at these lizard eaters.
I'd eat a lizard. I feel like they would be delicious, especially fried.
That would be weird because their skin. I feel like their meat would be like their skin.
Well, people eat frog legs all the time. They say it tastes like chicken.
Frog leg? I've never had a frog leg.
I don't know. I go to Louisiana a lot, and like I feel like a lot of the Creole food, they have like alligator, and they'll have turtle in that, or frog, and sausage, and.
That's what they. I want to know if anyone from Louisiana comes up there and just cooks their regular food.
Oh, I bet the winners of the Roadkill Festival are probably.
Because Louisiana
got some Cajun
is a whole other world.
Yeah. They got a lot of snapping turtle stews and all that sorts of stuff. Yeah.
I've never had frogs or any kind of reptilian meats. I don't know if I could. I don't know.
No, the lizard people wouldn't let you.
Yeah.
Not one of us. I don't know what kind of cult you're in, John.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit.
My amphibian DNA, deep down is my reptilian DNA, doesn't want me to eat my own self.
Before we leave, I want you to tell me a little bit about your band, Flesh Mother.
It's just like a hardcore, I guess kind of metal. Like
kind of metal?
It's heavy, but it's not like... I think heavy metal is almost dorky.
Oh, a bunch of metalheads just turned this off. If they weren't turned off by the Republican or all the stuff we're trying to...
If there's any metal dudes listening to a podcast about the roadkill thing, I just think it's like, we don't really fit in with that genre at all.
Okay.
But we do have we're a very heavy band. Everything's down-tuned, you know. So it's, I don't know.
How many members do you have?
4.
Okay. A lot of guitar, drums?
We have one guitar player. He runs through a couple different cabs, bass, drums.
Oh, cool.
I just sing.
You sing?
Mm-hmm.
Drums, and then no keyboardist? No electric violin?
Dude, this band Lung has an electric, I think it's cello.
Oh, yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And the guy that plays drums that used to play in Flesh
My
Mother.
friends at Murder by Death, they have a cellist. Shout out. Yeah. What about like harmonica or anything like that? You're not trying to switch it up with your singing and try and do some Blues Travelers in there?
We already, we don't stray from the path too much on the heavy stuff, just kind of pretty.
But you've performed all over, right?
Yeah, we've toured around a bunch. We do a lot of traveling. We have a couple albums out. We're about to release our 3rd one. We're working on it right now, like finishing up the writing. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot with it. We just don't have. We do everything by ourselves.
Okay, so grassroots. You do your own advertising.
We book
PR.
our own tours. We release our own music.
Would you play the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff if they offered?
Absolutely.
Do you think that?
I love I book a lot of our tours, and I look at anything I want to go to. I just want to go to like the weirder spots.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm like I played in Whitesburg, Kentucky, the Appalachia area.
Yeah.
Like we play all those like weird little towns. Because that's where like it's more fun there. People give a shit.
People are cool. Like, what is the reception of your band there?
They love it, and because no one goes there.
Yeah,
everyone goes to New York. New York is boring as fuck.
I hate LA. I don't hate any. Okay, I don't hate LA, but I would rather go somewhere where I know the people are going to be authentic. Oh God, I'm sounding like such a jerk, but it's I want to be immersed in the culture of wherever I am and want to know what their thing is.
And same with you. And every time I've gone to like these cities, like you go to cities and you're like the bigger cities, and I'm like, anyone can do this. There's just more people here.
There's a lot of people there. Yeah.
But that's really all that it has. It's just numbers of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like LA might as well be any shopping plaza I've ever been to in my life.
Not agree more.
You
do get a lot of good juices and stuff, but that is where I had the rattlesnake. A lot of good juices. The best TJ Maxx I ever went to. JK.
It's like just Beachmont Avenue.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of the same. It's like I would rather go to somewhere that has rolling hills, a little scenery.
Well, if I'm gonna travel, I want to see all the weird shit too. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to
see the obscure. I want to pull over on that roadside attraction and be like, the world's largest what? Or you have what here? Or
yeah, I like when the guys in the band look at the tour routing and they're like, where the fuck is this like weird town?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry, it's gonna be cool.
And then you just see like a sign coming up. They're like, cave 2 miles, and you're like, well, we got to go to the cave.
And sometimes it sucks, but that's the fun of it too.
The thing I don't like about the small towns is just the hotel experiences. That's the only thing. I like the whole day, but when it's going to sleep, it's like, who changed these sheets last and when?
You want to know something crazy?
What? Yes.
I know a guy. He's a homeless guy. That his job is cleaning hotel rooms, and he told me he gets like $5 a room.
That's not a lot.
No, and there's no way those rooms are clean.
No, under the table.
There's no way.
Should we tell people where this? No, you know what? You figure it out yourself. You do your own research on this podcast.
Ignorance is bliss. You don't want to know. I don't want to tell you.
Okay. Any shows coming up you want to talk about?
Not off the top of my head. I don't have anything off the top of my head.
I want you to play the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff. I'm
going to look into... Well, we're not really bluegrass, but... I feel like that's what those bands were.
I feel like they'd be accepting of a lot.
They might be into having... I mean, I don't know if we're any mud hole control. We might be able to
we'll have to look that up. Off. Yeah. Okay, so since 1991, they're celebrating, having done this for so many years.
They've been doing this since 91?
91.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's like how old you are. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea how old you are.
Older than that.
You're timeless. I don't know if you've never seen John Hayes. He has a beard down to his... No, I'm just kidding. He's actually in pajamas right now with a weird stocking hat. He is Father Time. I'm trying to see if we missed anything that we can tell them about. But no, just West Virginia Cookoff. It's a competition, prizes, dancing, live music, beauty pageant. Probably a lot of events that coincide. Like I saw a 5K last year. Hopefully they'll get their website up and running so we can do some more research. But this isn't until September, so you have plenty of time to check it out and do your own research.
I for sure want to go.
Okay. All right. Well,
I almost just got my phone. I was looking up how far is Marlinton.
From here?
Yeah.
Probably not that far. I mean, West Virginia is like, even the farthest parts you can get into like, a couple hours.
About to find out.
Yeah, you check that out. How far are we? I'm talking Cincinnati road trip.
Well, also, I got Boost mobile phone, so...
So it's going to take a while. We're going to have to...
Maybe.
Yeah, let me get my... Sorry, I don't know what sound I just made. Probably that turkey that jumped out of a tree and scared you.
From here... 6 hours.
That's not that bad.
It's not good either.
I could be... I mean, there's a lot of stuff to see along the way in 6 hours.
Look at this. Look at the
okay, that's a back-ass road. Wow. Now, I do think that you need to probably do the old school route and print out a MapQuest site for turn-by-turn directions, because I think your GPS might be cutting out in and out in these places.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Well, also, I don't even... This is a strange map I have.
That's too many roads to go up.
I don't even know if that's what that is.
I don't even know what state this is.
Oh, no. That's the real way.
5 hours, 56 minutes.
You could go see the Serpent Mound along the way.
You don't want to go up through Columbus. That just seems like bad form. I wonder if there's any tolls on the way.
You can go through, if this is the route it goes through, you can see the Serpent Mound.
Oh, I love Serpent Mound. Very cool. That was like the one thing in a textbook. They were like, oh, come see Ohio, Serpent Mound. And I was like, we have a what? Anything else?
No, I don't think that's anything. I don't think I have anything of note. I don't know when you release these things. So.
I'm trying to do once a week.
So I don't want to be like, hey, come to the show.
Hey, come to the show. Yeah. Well, check out John Hayes. He's a comedian as well. So does a lot of stand up around. Travels with that too?
I haven't really. I'm pretty lazy with that because I don't know.
Priorities. Yeah.
Well, I just don't know, and I don't ever get offered stuff.
That's how I work. I'm always like, I don't ask for bookings. I'm always like, if you find me and you want to ask me, I'll take a gig.
I'm just like hoping that like one of my friends will get famous and just be like, hey, come along. And I'm like, perfect.
There we go. That's what we're all hoping for, that entourage. Except for we don't want to be in New York or LA. We've already burned that bridge 5 minutes ago when we shat on it. So
I just want to be. Yeah. If I could just be a host forever, I'd be fine with that.
I agree.
Like, we just do easy 10, 15 minutes and then go sit down in the back and have laughs with my buddies?
Well, John is leaving this podcast a richer man because I'm giving him my Chuck Klosterman book and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to go home and watch. And don't forget Alpha Dog. So he's got a lot of research to do. But John, thank you so much for coming in and talking.
Hell yeah.
I'm living my best life.
Special thanks to my buddy John Hayes for being the guest this week as we talk about the West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff, which will be held Friday, September 27th and Saturday, September 28th in Marlinton, West Virginia. I did want to add that while the website is currently not accessible, it should be up again. It's pccocwv.com. And I did do a little bit more research about the Miss West Virginia Roadkill Cookoff Festival, and the pageant is actually super legit. The winners are adorable. Actual evening gowns, actual question and answer. These women can go on after the festival to win a state title, so good for them. Support them in any way. But it's a legit festival, so I just thought I'd point that out. If you have a festival idea, please send it to me at festlifepodcast@gmail.com. And as always, shout out to Phil at comPODre.com for doing the editing for the show. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Hey.